Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Has-Been Sports Club.
We are Bizak.
Been a minute.
Been a minute. It has been a couple of weeks,
That's a lot of minutes.
per usual. But we're back and blessing you all with our presence.
Well, blessing each other with our presence. But
That's fair.
glad you got to see me.
Glad you got to see me too.
And
Anyway,
I'm glad you guys get to see me.
yeah, we're glad you guys get to see us,
Oh,
Chet. We're a unit. Anyway,
I like the me and team.
there is an M and an E.
Just saying.
Yeah.
All right. Give the people what they want. What's happening in this sports world?
There's a lot since the last time we've been with you. We've got some NFL news, shockingly enough. We've got NBA news as we are now in the finals. And it's not looking good for the Mavericks.
I could have told you that months ago when this whole thing started, and we were giving a couple predictions.
Chet, I don't want to hear
Apparently
it.
my hot takes were shit, but
you had the Nuggets. So I don't want to hear it.
I had the what?
You had the Nuggets.
False.
No, I'm saying you had the Nuggets in the finals.
Oh,
I'm not saying you
okay.
had them winning it. No. You had them in the finals.
I'm like the weatherman.
Which is
I'm
extremely
50% correct.
extremely incorrect.
I would be the best weatherman, and I'm partially like the best has been.
partially the best has been.
Half of it.
You're half of it. Yes.
It's all 50%.
It is all 50% cuz we share everything.
Oh.
Anyway, I don't really know much about the MLB, to be completely honest.
I do.
Still way too much going on, and I don't have that kind of time. But I've been paying attention to the NBA. So, Chet, where would you like to start?
Well, I mean, we've already talked about it, so we might as well talk about the NBA.
Talking about the NBA. All right.
Boston Celtics up 2-0 right now, huh?
Boston Celtics up 2-0.
And they just have every aspect of the game
They really do.
covered.
I was a hater, and I still think if Minnesota would have gotten past Dallas, they would have had a better shot.
They lost 4-1, dude.
I'm aware. That's what I'm saying, is if they would have got past Dallas, I think they would have had a better shot. I think they're a better team defensively, but that's just me. Anyway, Dallas, Kyrie has not looked good.
No, and he knows that.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he looked good in the conference final. That's the difference. Stop that. Stop it.
Fixed it. But anyway, on the bright side, they're going back to Dallas for the next 2 games. They have a chance to even it up at home. Luka looks great. On the flip side, everybody except for Jason Tatum on Boston looks great. Jason Tatum has been extremely mediocre, but to this point in his career, I think that's pretty much to be expected given the circumstances.
But that's the thing with Boston, okay? So, clearly Dallas does not have enough to match up on both sides of the basketball with them. So, Luka and Kyrie both have to just go nuts.
Yeah.
And if that's how Dallas is going to win. And Lively's been playing very well.
He has.
He's
fun to watch.
That's promising.
I'll tell you what.
That's promising for a guy like him. But they need another guy to score the basketball.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is that Boston has it all. So, I mean, last night was Drew Holiday.
Mm-hmm. Well, the thing
and
is,
when that happens, okay, well, then there's Jaylen Brown. Then there's Jason Tatum, who can be the all-star that he is. And then they've got Kristaps Porzingis, who, is not playing bad. And he already said, he's not going to sit out again.
Mm.
He already said he's not going to miss another game because he's just not. I mean, he sat out ever since he got hurt. Sat out the rest of the Eastern Conference Finals, the semis, and so he's not coming out. And then if his replacement is Al Horford, who can, kind of do it off the bench. And then another outstanding player who is just overlooked is Derek White.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the thing to me with Boston is not only are their stars good
At
slash
every
great
position.
at offense, they're all
Capable.
very good to great defenders also, which Dallas is not.
Watching Drew Holiday and Derek White play defense last night.
Mm-hmm. Like even Tatum and Brown, who are your offensive focal points, are good defenders.
Correct.
Like that is to me the biggest difference in this entire series is Kyrie and Luka. You can tell they're trying. They're not good defenders at all.
Yeah.
Kyrie better than Luka, which is not good when your 6'7" star is the biggest defensive liability.
He was looking for a lot of foul calls last night, too.
Mm-hmm.
A lot.
Don't get me wrong, I like Luka,
Me too.
but his game does bother me
Because
at
it gets
times.
to be a little too flashy sometimes.
He tries too hard to just like I guess I get the mentality of like I need a big play to really spark something for my team like when you need it, but sometimes you just got to make the safe option. And pulling up a near half court 3 ain't it.
Kyrie didn't shoot well from beyond the arc last night
No.
either, though. But the thing with... Okay. So, I respect the Dallas Mavericks coaching staff and their recruiting staff and their scout team, however you want to call it, because they have now had 2 franchise players, European, overseas,
Mm-hmm.
players that are not fast by any means, and they're going to take a franchise and be the face of it.
Yeah.
Twice.
Mm-hmm.
Dirk and Luka. So whoever's in their scout room is pretty good at choosing a face of a team from overseas, because that's twice.
Yeah.
And
Honestly,
they both have the same fadeaway off one leg jumper
so
that nobody can stop.
I think this year's draft is going to be very interesting, especially for a team like Dallas. There is a lot of overseas talent in this draft. Granted, I don't know a lot of guys in this draft, but I do know that a lot of them are overseas players. So it could be very interesting for a team like them who's very good at picking prospects overseas. So just kind of interesting. But this offseason for Dallas is going to be critical. They're obviously in their championship window and they need to do something fast. And I think that's adding another star.
I mean, I agree.
They never should have got rid of Porzingis.
Oh, now we got another guy on the Porzingis train, eh?
I've never been not on the Porzingis train.
Hmm.
I just don't like that he's always hurt.
You be that tall and that skinny and not get hurt. It's inevitable.
I mean, Giannis doesn't get hurt all that often. He does, but not like super consistently.
Isn't he the guy that didn't play in the playoffs?
Are are you just ignoring that Porzingis also missed a significant portion? You just acknowledged that Porzingis missed a significant portion of the playoffs.
And his team is on the verge of winning. Where, and he says, "I'm not coming out," as to where Giannis had his back against the wall, losing, and still doesn't make an appearance.
Are we just gonna ignore the fact that Boston has like 5 other All Stars? Are we just gonna skip over that fact?
No, we already stated that. I mean, they're they're not going to get beat.
No.
There's just
At this
no way that
point,
they're going to get beat because they have two people at every position.
right.
Literally.
Like in my mind, it was like
Like Drew Holiday's at the point. Peyton Pritchard comes in. He gives him quality minutes, gets him a breather. Okay. Now you have, let's just say, Tatum or Brown at the 2. Derek White comes in.
mhm.
You have Tatum at the 3. Hauser has been coming in.
He's been given good minutes too.
And who else is in there? Obviously, Porzingis at the 5, and then Al Horford can take that spot.
I can't remember who their 4 is.
Why am I drawing a blank?
It doesn't matter. They're
just-
stacked either way.
There's just
And-
so much opportunity at each position.
Yeah. No, like that's my only criticism was I just felt like they didn't. Granted, I understand you can only play the hand that is dealt to you in Boston's case, but it was just like they didn't have to face anybody necessarily tough so far in the playoffs. So I guess I thought that some of these stronger teams from the West would give them a little bit more trouble, but it just so far has not been the case. So, but yeah, I think I am with you on Boston is more than likely going to take this thing.
More than likely, it's a wrap.
I wouldn't definitively say it's a wrap.
It's not. It's going to go back to Boston, but they're going to win.
Either way. So I think that kind of covers it for NBA. Sure, we've got the draft coming up. Not too terribly long. I'll need a little bit more time to study up on who these players are. But I did see that apparently the Bulls are really trying to go after Donovan Clingan.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Apparently, he's their big prospect that they want. So I don't know. That'll be interesting, but I'm pretty sure like the the top 3 projected picks are all like overseas guys, which is just kind of crazy. So I don't know. I need more time to look into the draft class, but that just keep in mind that's coming up here shortly as the NBA season is nearing an end. I have a feeling that it'll be a very active off season as well. I think there's going to be a lot of players moving.
There's going to be some names moving.
And I think one of the biggest outside of like
KD.
I wasn't necessarily going into like players. I
Oh.
think the coaching position for the Lakers is going to be one of the biggest storylines.
Well,
Now
yeah,
that-
because it already is because Dan Hurley
Yeah.
turns down a major contract.
Which brings back into question, are they actually going to make a move for JJ Redick?
I was surprised that they went one day saying
I didn't even know Hurley was in the conversation.
right because they were so high on JJ Redick,
Mhm.
which is fine.
I don't think LeBron would play for JJ.
I don't know if that's. I think JJ needs to be with a team, a younger team,
Yeah.
because
No,
he
I
knows
agree.
the game. I just think he would have a better grasp on managing younger guys.
I would say my thing is I feel like he would have a tough obstacle, not necessarily even just him. He and his players would have a tough obstacle to overcome if he goes to a veteran heavy team where there's guys cuz JJ's not that far removed from playing.
Okay, and that you're correct. And so my thing is that Jason Kidd had a hard time
Mhm.
adapting to being the coach
And
because that age that gap was not big enough.
I feel like it'd be hard to
Steve Nash
coach.
was the same way.
I feel like it'd be hard to coach guys you played with, and it'd be hard for guys to play for a guy that they played with.
Yeah. Ty Lue is the same way. I
Mhm.
mean, all of these guys have not been removed from their playing days for very long, and they bounced around.
Mhm.
You know, Jason Kidd, man, he bounced around.
He started in
Okay,
Milwaukee.
but
I
now,
wish Milwaukee had him now.
look at him. He's learned how to manage the game. Steve
I
Nash.
think it helps that he was on a young team too.
So, like, that's exactly. I just think that JJ needs to be with a young core.
I agree. No,
Like,
and
if he was the coach like of Oklahoma City right now, I know that their coach did a great job this year, but if he was, like, I think that's just kind of a squad
well,
or him coaching somewhere like Orlando.
so here's the thing. I can still see him being
Maybe
the Lakers coach depending on what direction they decide to go. If they try to trade LeBron or something or try to
because
get
they
some
can
kind of
still be
draft
young.
capital,
Gabe Vincent,
exactly.
and players like
I
that.
I mean, make Anthony Davis the focal
Jackson
point.
Hayes. They have Jackson Hayes now.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's like the rest of that team outside
Rui?
outside of
He's with
LeBron,
them too.
yeah, outside of LeBron and AD, the rest of that team is very
Is
young.
pretty young.
But I feel like your stars, if you only have one star like an AD, and he was kind of like tail end of JJ's career, so it's like I feel like that would be okay. But I feel like getting like having JJ coach LeBron, I don't think it would work. But if their plan is to get like to move on from LeBron, then I can see it as a realistic possibility.
Yeah. Yeah. And honestly, like JJ's gonna get himself a coaching spot
Yeah.
eventually. But I'm with you. Has not been removed from the game long enough.
Mm-hmm.
And but okay, kudos to Dan Hurley, D too. Not just chasing a dollar sign.
Honestly, he's like I respect that.
Me too. I mean, stay put. Like that. That decision right there to me is kind of like everybody. Coach K was dominant for so long, you know, and they're like, "Oh, is he going to go to the next level?" No, he stayed. Kind of like in football with Nick Saban. Oh, well, if he can win this much in college, and he's going to win in the NFL. Same thing with Coach K. He can win in the NBA. It doesn't work like that all the time,
Right.
you know. Like people have tried,
Yeah. Well, I mean, like that's the thing. So you think about
and
it,
then
right?
they don't make it, and then they get sent back down.
Yeah.
So Dan Hurley, 2-time national champion, with another great team coming back.
Mm-hmm.
I respect that.
The thing is like I feel like so you said like chasing the dollar sign. It's like I
That's the main thing these days.
it drives me nuts because it's like we act like these college coaches don't make a ton of money too.
A ton.
Like I guess granted we're not rich, so we don't know what it's like, but I mean 500K seems like a lot to me. And not to mention all the added perks and benefits that I'm sure these coaches are getting for higher profile like teams, especially the fact that Hurley won the national championship the last 2 years. Like that comes that means your school is making more money
Correct.
because you win when you win the national championship, you get like an allocation or something to your school, like to your athletic department. And I would have a hard time believing that isn't factored into some kind of bonus or incentive for him on a yearly basis if he wins the national championship. and you get all your
Anytime.
donors and stuff donating stuff. I'm sure he has a funded vehicle or whatever of his choice from, I'm sure, whatever local dealership is around. Like, there's so many perks to being a staple of a collegiate program.
Well, it's the same with anything. Your team keeps winning, you keep making money.
Yeah,
Nobody makes more money when they lose the first round.
exactly. And it's like,
You host games, you make money. You keep winning, you host games.
yeah. So,
Plain and simple.
no, I respect it. Coming from the broke boy here.
Yeah, I do too. And I think, like I said, JJ's going to have a job. It was a shock that they were one day saying, oh, the best candidate is JJ Redick.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, it's Lakers are finalizing a max contract for Dan Hurley.
Yeah.
Where did that come from?
I know. I like as soon as I saw that CBS article come through, I was like, "What?"
It's like, no way.
I was
I
like,
thought you already
"They
had
were
this wrapped
literally
up."
all in on JJ yesterday." It's just crazy. Sports world is ever changing.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I think we have talked enough
Yep.
on the NBA. Unless
Game
do you
3
have
goes back to
anything-
Dallas. That's all I got to say.
Got anything left? All right. So let's move on to a story for the NFL of Justin Jefferson is a signed man. The richest non-QB in the NFL.
Paid.
4 years, 140 million. I think it was 111 guaranteed or something.
Hey, you know what's cool?
Hmm.
Because I've always got a counter argument for everything you got to say.
I love it.
It'd be cool to be the highest paid position player in a sport
Mm-hmm.
and still be bad because your quarterback is Sam Darnold.
I know, right? I know.
Like, that's bad, dude. J.J. McCarthy, wait your turn, son. It's Sammy's time to shine.
See, that's the thing is I'm fine with it. I am. I'm fine with it.
Me
I-
too.
I
Go
say-
Bears.
I say let him sit, let him develop. It's fine. At the end of the day, I love the contract for Jefferson. It's like you sign the number one receiver in football long term. You lock him in for the crucial developmental years for JJ McCarthy, taking a lot of weight off his shoulders cuz it'll only help his development having Justin Jefferson, having Jordan Addison, having TJ Hawkinson. They've got all these guys signed. I mean, Addison's on a rookie deal, but most of these guys, all their their contract is still within the window of the 5-year rookie contract for JJ McCarthy. So, perfect timing to sign these guys to huge deals because you're not paying the biggest contract that your team is going to have to pay with McCarthy being on a rookie contract. So, I like it. I like the deal.
I like that the Vikings are going to be bad for the next 5 years.
Oh, I don't believe that one bit. We're still yet to see if Caleb Williams is going to work.
I sure hope so. I still hope so,
Yeah.
because I can't say that I'm still happy.
I feel like daily I get like conflicting stories on him. One day I hear he threw 7 straight interceptions in 7-on-7s. The next day I hear, he threw the most beautiful deep ball to Keenan Allen. It's like, I don't know. You never know what to actually believe.
I believed in
me
Justin.
being me, I think he's going to be a huge bust, but that's just me.
I believed in Justin.
And the Steelers are going to reap the benefits.
Yeah, because they got him for more than a washing machine. Or they got him for less than what a washing machine would be.
I'll say that's a
Like,
steal.
the washing machine would be a better deal.
It's a steal. But I don't know.
It's dumb.
This
So,
NFL
dude
season,
better show out.
This NFL season is going to be a lot of fun. I think the NFC North is going to be the most interesting division in all of football. I think there's a lot to like about that division. Also,
there's a lot to like because Detroit has been good the last couple of years.
mm-hmm.
The Bears don't know what's going to be their future.
Yeah.
The Packers are the Packers. I really don't have anything good to say about the Packers.
How do you so
They don't have big name people anymore. And so you never know what you're going to get with the Packers. And then you have the Vikings who just don't want to win.
Oh Jesus Christ.
So they make decisions not in their favor to win.
Jesus Christ.
Like the Packers, okay. Jordan Love proved himself.
No, did he though?
I think so.
Did he?
I think so.
That's one thing that's been driving me nuts recently because I've been you keep hearing all these analysts and everything sitting there talking about how he has proven himself, he's worth this max contract. You need to pay him what he wants. And I'm like, he put together about half of a season of great play.
He didn't have the best roster either.
I'm not. That's fine. But still, the first half of the year to watch was brutal. I don't think you've seen enough.
I think they should have kept Aaron Jones too instead of go get Josh Jacobs.
I do like having Aaron Jones. No, I thought that was stupid too. I mean,
like I've seen more upside in Jones. I think they can both have opportunities to get hurt because they both missed significant amount of time.
Yeah.
But I think you have more potential with Aaron Jones with the pass option and play action, and I think he does run the ball pretty good. I mean, and they got A.J. Dillon, who he's going to run up the gut, so Aaron Jones is the one that's going to bounce to the outside.
Josh Jacobs is still like the only player I've ever heard of to miss time for a chest contusion. He just sounds silly.
Yeah. I question that Packers bet move, but
yeah.
What do I know?
There's a reason I'm sitting here and not.
The reason I'm a has-been and has never been on a football field. So, yeah, interesting.
Oh,
definitely interesting.
Another big story that I almost completely forgot about. Darren Waller retiring at 31.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Just tired of losing.
I guess. You go from one poverty franchise to another.
When you're good and you lose interest.
Yeah. Freshly off the divorce, I don't know.
Is that true? They did get divorced?
Yeah.
They only made it a year.
Did you not see the music video he made?
No.
Oh, my God.
They only made it a year, too.
I know. But, yeah, he made a music video, and it's just, ripping her apart. And there's, a girl in there playing Kelsey Plum. It's hilarious.
See, I like Kelsey.
Do you?
Yeah.
There is nothing more cringy to me than watching that video of her eating the popcorn at that basketball game. Oh, you don't know what I'm talking about?
No clue.
Oh, she's just sitting there just courtside,
just munching.
And I'm just she's I don't know. I'll have to show you the video later. It's just it's very cringy. But yeah. So, just another thing, as it's a large story.
Yeah. Hey, while we're on the topic of women's basketball players, let's tap in.
Okay.
The Fever are bad.
Yeah.
We knew that was going to be we knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
Is Caitlin Clark getting roughhoused?
Yes.
Or is she just, pulling the what people would consider the LeBron
I think it's
and
both.
flopping.
I think it's both. I mean, we knew that she had a tendency to do the flopping just from college. Like we had seen it. But you see things like the situation with like Kennedy Carter, and it's like you see other things where it's like there are multiple instances where people are going out of their way just to hit her.
I think there's a lot of frustration in the game right now. I think there's a lot of frustration because she's getting so much TV time and so much, what's the word I'm looking for? Attention. And everybody's saying that she's changed the face of women's basketball, which she's put a pretty good face on it.
Yeah.
But all of these girls that are already, or I should say women, that are in the WNBA already are,
They're jealous.
I would say, jealous because they say, "Oh, she hasn't paved the way for women's basketball because guess what? We're already here."
Okay, nobody's been watching until now.
So I think that there's a
I'm not
grudge held, and people are I think they are targeting
100%. It's like
because they are tired of hearing her name
I'm sorry.
because they've already made it, and then all of a sudden here she comes, and they just want to put a bullseye on her back.
Well, like that's the thing. Is it's like okay, I'm not disregarding the fact that there has been great players before.
Oh, yeah, absolutely
Like that's
not.
the thing. There has been a ton of
Skylar
talent.
Diggins, Candace Parker,
Maya
Tamika
Moore.
Catchings, Sue Bird,
Like
Maya Moore,
there's been
Keep
a
going.
ton.
Diana Taurasi.
There's been a ton of great players to come through the WNBA, and it's unfortunate that it has not been popular. And I'm sorry, that's the fact of it. It has not been popular. People have not wanted to watch it for whatever reason. We don't know. The fact is now it's because of Caitlin Clark. People are engaged. People are watching it. At the end of the day, they're not strictly watching Caitlin Clark. She has brought popularity to the WNBA as a whole.
Correct. And, I people are tuning in because of the name Caitlin Clark.
Mm-hmm.
The comment that Angel Reese said is, "Hey, they're watching because of me too." I do think that her name has an impact in it
Yeah.
because she played against Caitlin Clark. She
Mhm.
beat Caitlin Clark. She then lost to Caitlin Clark, So she's been that thorn in the side of Caitlin Clark. So that's why I think she's relevant to saying that.
Mm-hmm.
But she's not the sole reason or even the top reason
No.
that people are watching.
Well, that's the thing. Is like what drives me nuts is how they're they're looking at it as it's only Caitlin Clark, and it is very much so mostly Caitlin Clark. But what we forget is the NBA, like the regular NBA, the men's league, was not super popular until you had Magic and Bird. Magic and Bird revived the NBA.
Everything goes through waves.
And right now, we are in the Caitlin Clark wave. Like that is what is popularizing the sport. You can argue maybe it is the draft class, the battle of the draft class, where it is Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark. But
you can say that
until the storylines actually show it, until the teams are actually comparable and they're actually playing for something that actually matters. Right now, it's the Caitlin Clark show. Caitlin Clark's what's making it popular. But that's not to say that there aren't other great players that are going to build it into this big rivalry and everything. But if that's what these players are doing by targeting her, they're going about it the wrong way.
Yeah, but everything goes through waves, though. Like,
Mhm.
okay, like so you said, Magic and Bird, and Jordan. They revived the NBA. They took the '90s era and they revived it. Okay, then there was that little lull, and then here comes LeBron
Mhm.
and D Wade and Melo,
Kobe winning
and
5
then
more
Kobe.
championships or
So like
multiple
there was that.
championships. Like,
Okay, there it goes again, and then we get into Steph Curry, Kevin Durant. Okay, there they are, and then we get into this. I mean, I'll put Zion up there. A little excitement of Zion
I
coming to
think
the
we're
league.
the
Has he been hurt?
Wembenyama
Yeah,
zone right
but
now.
now we're. Then you had Jason Tatum.
I think right now, I think the best way to summarize the NBA right now is we're in the European era. It's all about the foreign players right now. Luka, Jokic, Giannis, Wembenyama. Like, it's all about all of these foreign players.
They have been making an impression
Mm-hmm.
on the league.
So, I think that's the era we're in for the NBA right now. The
Oh, yeah.
European Renaissance.
I mean, I have no argument to that.
But no, you're right. It is. It goes in waves, and much with any sport, like baseball is still suffering right now. The popularity is not up.
And it'll come back around.
Yeah,
I believe that it's going to come back around.
it will, and
I guess
I don't know what it would take. Is the thing. I guess this could be a good segue into our
Yeah.
MLB part of the show.
I guess I don't know because they're trying different things. I don't agree with some of the things, but they're trying. It just goes in waves. Like with baseball, it's harder for the simple fact of okay, you have this draft and then you don't see any of those people for a couple years.
Right.
So that's the thing. They don't get the coverage that any other sport has of immediate impact.
I say everybody gets excited for the NFL draft and gets excited to see how these rookies play. Everybody gets excited for the NBA draft and to see how those rookies play. You don't get that with the MLB. It's
Just
such a
because
long process.
It's a very long process, but you don't immediately see these people.
Which is why it's also so crazy to have a guy like Paul Skeens.
Yeah. I mean that is what people that's what attracts people, okay?
Mhm.
You just saw Paul Skeens playing for LSU. Well, guess what? Now he's performing on the big stage and performing well.
And doing
It
very
was
well.
the same thing with Bryce Harper. It was the same thing with Mike Trout. Okay? Like, yeah, they made
And that's
their
why their
transition
names are
a
so
lot faster.
huge.
Okay,
right
Jackson Holliday did the same thing. Did he have success?
No.
No, but he was still drafted very high, aka number 1 pick. Then he makes it all the way up to the big leagues quickly. Okay, his name went boom, boom, boom.
Mm-hmm. It also helps being the son of an
100%
all-time great,
definitely
but,
helps.
or
But
not an all-time great, but a historically
that's what
good
makes
player.
that's what gives the sport the excitement.
Yeah.
You know the names of the top draft picks,
Mm-hmm.
but then they're relevant right away.
Yeah.
Like that is how
It's all about storylines.
exactly. And there's just so many baseballs. Just got so many people and
Mm-hmm.
positions that your draft is so long, and you don't know all the names. But when you do, and they finally make it, and they transition fast,
Mm-hmm.
that's when you have the popularity.
Yeah.
It's just plain and simple. But okay, I'll use this one. Casey Mize. Okay,
Yeah.
he pitched for Auburn. Stud. Gets drafted. Doesn't necessarily move up super fast. Finally made his MLB debut last year.
Was it last year or 2 years ago?
I mean, it's just one of those things. Okay, you look at Vanderbilt. Okay, you had Kumar Rocker.
Who?
Okay, exactly. He was an animal. Okay, he pitched. Yes, he did get hurt in college and this and that. And there's speculations of a bunch of stuff. Whatever. Of is he going to be healthy? Is he not? Okay, people were iffy on taking him, but he was a standout at Vanderbilt,
Mm-hmm.
and because he got hurt, he falls. He's with the Rangers. You know, you just need the big names to transition faster, and I don't know how to do that.
We need another steroid era.
I I I just don't know how to do that so fast because the levels of play are just different.
Well, it also makes things difficult because it's like you get guys who can be drafted out of high school too. So it's like you've got so many guys on so many different like they're at
You have
different points
teenagers
in their
playing
development.
against grown men.
Yeah. Guys who have been in the MLB and are like 35 years old and it's just like
You have teenagers playing against grown men.
yeah. But I mean,
You
goes,
can have that in
goes
the
for
NBA too.
I would say
I
that
mean,
goes for the NBA also, but
It's
it's different.
it's.
I mean,
very
you
difficult.
ask any. I mean, I don't know that you can ask professional athletes because they'll probably all disagree. But one of the most unanimous, hardest things to do in all of sports is hit a baseball from a professional, from an MLB pitcher.
I know that all sports have their own difficulties,
Mm-hmm.
but if you just look at, I get it. I played baseball, so it's one of those that it's like you got a round ball hitting a round bat at different trajectories. Okay, there's just so many variables that go into it. Timing has to be milliseconds. Round object, and then you take into consideration how it can move. We can move 18 inches this way. We can move 12 inches this way. We can change the velocity of it by 20 miles an hour. You can make it move this way when you just made it move that way. It's crazy. And so, yeah.
I think what's funny is it's like, granted, I know hitting is a skill, but it seems like 90% of it is a guessing game.
It's, and this goes for all sports, it's crazy to see what the human body's capable of doing.
Mm-hmm.
And this just is in perspective of Steph Curry. Okay, let's just go there. Steph Curry. How many shots has he made beyond half court, just inside half court, everything like that? Depth perception.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not everybody can do that. Now go into football. You have Tyreek Hill running as fast as he can. Being able to put a throw. You threw that when he was at the 20-yard line. He's catching it on the opposite 45. So being able to judge that he's there, I need to throw it there at this elevation, this hard, so he can catch it in stride.
Mm-hmm.
Into the wind. Then you go to baseball and you say, hey, this is coming down at this angle. In order to get on plane, have to go at this angle. And it's round, so I have to... It's spinning, it's round, I'm swinging a round object. I have to square that up so that it, goes on a line. It's not a rollover. It's not a pop-up. Your brain, but in all of that in a split second.
Mm-hmm.
So what the human body is capable of doing or anticipating is impressive.
Yeah. No, it is. And
So the game of baseball to me, and I'm biased, but it's impressive. So that baseball fans just have to understand development has to happen.
mm-hmm.
I mean, it has to happen before that number one draft pick or your first round draft pick can make it to the big leagues. But that's where the excitement is lost, and I'll say that that's where the excitement's lost. Is that
Sure.
you see that name, and then you don't see it again for 3 years.
Yeah. No, I agree.
I mean,
And I don't know how to
Jordan
fix
Hicks moved up fast. You know,
it.
Alex
Dude's also
Reyes
throwing
moved up
106
fast.
miles an hour.
I
It's
know,
like,
but
it's hard
that's
to,
what moved him up. You know, they get drafted. Alex Reyes was the same way. Okay, they get drafted. Okay, bang, bang, bang. They get up. Okay, there's excitement.
yeah. They
It's
fizzled out pretty quick.
it's crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I see what you're saying, but I don't know how to fix. I don't know how you fix it.
I don't. I mean, it just all comes down to
'Cause you don't want to rush somebody up
just
because
like
that's
just like Jackson Holiday.
yeah, it's just gonna
And
ruin
some could argue that Jordan Walker was the same way.
it. Yeah. So much hype built around it that you're like, oh, we got to get him out.
Pete
We got to
Crow
sell
Armstrong's
tickets.
another one. But okay, what's Cruz from
O'Neal Cruz.
Yeah,
Or Ellie De La Cruz.
no, the Pirates one.
Okay.
Yeah, he
O'Neal.
got hurt, but like, okay, was that rushed? I think Ellie De La Cruz, he's legit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how to fix it, but that's what
Other
the
than
downfall is.
there's some people that are just gonna. And there's some people that aren't.
Yeah. But as in baseball, I mean, the Cardinals got back to 500. You know, they had that little hot streak. People were starting to hit. Nolan Gorman, Alec Burleson.
Yeah.
I mean, Arenado, Goldschmidt had a couple home runs in a couple games there. Like that's what happens when people hit the ball. Okay, now they've kind of fallen into a little lull. Like they lost a couple to Colorado.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, they've won some good games. Like they swept Baltimore. You know, then they go and they beat the Reds.
So you win the series for the Reds.
Then you go to Houston and you lose to Houston.
Yeah.
And then you lose to Colorado.
That's the bad one.
That's bad. Like that
Mhm.
that doesn't look well. You take the series from the Cubs, you know. So
yeah, I don't care how bad the season is as long as we beat the Cubs. It's cool.
yeah, so I think, but that's when they hit. When
Mhm.
they hit and do that, and then Mason Wynn, he's got a shot for Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, he's a stud, dude.
I know I was not high on him. I know.
There's a crow somewhere for Chet to eat.
I'll eat that one. But Cardinals pitching, Palante, he's actually come up and threw well. Sonny has had a couple rough starts. I still think that needs to be a focal point.
Yeah.
According to Mosaic, Cardinals are going to be buyers at the trade.
Oh, are we?
Oh yeah.
He says whatever the. Ugh. I can't stand the guy. We're talking about the same person who blamed our pitching problems on Wilson Contreras, and here we
He's
are.
going to be back.
Huh?
He's going to be back.
He will be, but it's like our pitching's not good and Wilson's out. So now what's your excuse? I don't know.
But yeah,
Mozeliak needs to go. That's my number one. My number one off-season move is getting rid of him.
But yeah, like there's still some good teams, you know. Cleveland, they're playing well.
Guardians.
Detroit's playing well. New York, the
Yeah.
Yankees got some studs.
I look forward to when we record because you tell me things I don't even know.
I mean, yeah.
I can't wait to watch the Dodgers lose again this year.
Tyler Glasnow was the first pitcher to 100 strikeouts. Like, I mean, isn't that great when you just pick up a pitcher the very first year and they come in and are the league leading in strikeouts and everything like that? Yeah, that's cool.
It's just gonna be so fun when they spend so much dang money every year and they never win the World Series. So
Yeah,
looking forward to that.
but I mean, they're still good.
Yeah. It's the Dodgers. They sell tickets. It's fine. Is there anything else to talk about with the MLB?
I if I gave a way too early prediction on
Let's
who
hear
to
it.
win the World Series, I'd probably say the Yankees.
Interesting. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know. Sure, we'll go Yankees.
Sure. Yeah, that's who I got. I mean, the Braves are playing well. It sucks that Acuna's out, like that hurts,
The
but
Braves are just an all-around good team. I like the Braves.
I know. It's crazy how that, like, you can trade Freddie Freeman and still be just as good
You know why?
with
You know
Matt
why?
Olson.
Austin Riley's a stud.
Well, you know who's was up there in MVP race runnings? Marcelo Zuna, who's coming out of the woodworks and swinging the bat.
Again, he did the same thing last year.
So,
Him and his lime green sleeve.
baseball's interesting.
It is.
So, but no, hopefully the Cardinals can get above 500. They get to that 500 mark, and then they can't get over it. So, they need quality starts. I mean, Gibson's been giving quality starts. Lynn is not my favorite.
Not a fan.
Sonny Gray's been not off to a great couple starts, which you have it. But
We'll
they
figure it
still
out.
need to score.
It'll be fine.
Get above 500.
Yep.
Because they fought to get back to it.
Yeah.
So, that's all I got.
Fair enough. Do we want to get into the thing?
No,
All right.
we're already deep.
All right, folks. We'll table that till next episode. Believe me, we have something fun coming.
A few.
A few of somethings. But anyway, so I think that kind of does it. If there's anything that you guys want to hear our thoughts and opinions on, please send them our way via the comments on YouTube, or if you know us personally, please text us, tell us, whatever you feel like doing. We want to know what you want to hear.
Just get a hold of us.
Yeah, we want to engage. And might be fun to like start including guests every once in a while, you know?
I don't know famous people.
No, we don't need famous people, just
People?
people who might know what they're talking about with like
People's
certain
people?
subjects, you know? So maybe we'll look at that in the future also. But as for now, please like this video. Please subscribe to our channel. And if you care to, hit the notification bell so you know when we post new episodes. Check us out on Spotify. I'm still trying to work it out on how to get on Apple Podcasts. I'm a little confused, but I'll figure it out eventually. And when we do, all you iPhone users will be available to you. So, with that, I'm Adam.
And I'm out.
Thank you for joining us on another episode of the Has Been Sports Club.